And we're back, and we're joined by Chris Manthos, the Executive Director of the American Watercraft Association. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having us on the. Hopefully, this is the first show.
You're our first interview, so thanks for breaking the ice.
Cooler.
Hey, Chris, for those who don't know, what or who is the AWA?
The AWA is the only organization in the entire country who protects your access, who even cares about your access, and goes out of their way and to protect your access to personal watercraft on public waters.
And that's the primary focus of the association.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So what areas are you experiencing some issues now? Where's the fight right now, Chris? In
Well,
terms of
the fight is everywhere, Kevin. It ranges still maintaining a fight with the National Park System, which the AWA got PWC reintroduced into the park system well over 15 years ago.
Right.
And we also have we have local issues, like in Lowell, Massachusetts. We just recently had to endure a ban on a 1.5-mile waterway there. We also are fighting in Florida to re-enter 3 of the lower Keys wildlife refuges down there, and to gain access to a 17-mile section of the intercoastal waterway.
So, Chris, what can riders, operators do to help support the efforts of the AWA?
The first thing to do is get involved, Kevin, and everybody needs to get involved. That doesn't mean just with the AWA. It means locally. And I know that's a cliche, and a lot of people, you often hear that, and it's used for different things.
Right.
But I'll give you a good example. In Massachusetts, when the AWA members and personal watercraft riders show up at these public hearings, we win those public hearings. What people need to do to be involved, Kevin, is to get involved locally with their public officials. When the AWA and personal watercraft owners show up in force, we win every time. When we don't, we lose. And we lose that access, and it's never coming back. Never. So it's important that you get involved. When you hear of a ban in your area, contact us. When you are aware of one, make sure that you go to the public hearing and speak out against it. Trust these environmentalists and public officials who want to ban personal watercraft or restrict their access severely. They're not used to being stood up to. And that's really what it comes down to, is standing up to a bunch of bullies. And that's what they are.
Right. Strength in numbers, and folks like us who are, career professionals show up and voice our opinions. And we're taxpayers. You're 100% right. Goes a long way, Chris.
Indeed it does.
So outside of our quarterly segments here with the AWA, if you run into some issues somewhere in some geographical region, will you get a hold of us, contact us, and use this platform to help us?
Absolutely, Kevin. And that's one of the things. We work with a lot of websites like Green Hulk. Those guys are really good about putting up our alerts. We also do direct mail. But any way that you can spread the word through, and this is a perfect platform for it, and we look forward to using it a lot, if you don't mind.
No, we look forward to a quarterly dialogue with you, Chris. But in the event that something does pop up, we should use this platform to help mobilize the masses and really,
I'll be calling you at all hours.
I look forward to it.
I'll be so annoying. You'll finally just say, "Okay, fine, we'll do an interview, man."
Hey, so how can operators get in touch? Contact the AWA.
Right. We have an 800 number, of course. It's 1-800-913-AWA1. 913-AWA1. And, of course, you can visit our website at awahq.org. And again, it's awahq.org, awaheadquarters.org.
Well, Chris, we really appreciate all you've done for us here in the Northeast and your efforts throughout the country. And we look forward to these quarterly sessions with you guys to talk about what's going on within the industry, where our struggles are, and how we can help spread the word and get more folks involved and save those waterways. Once we lose access somewhere, it's kind of like the snowball effect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what we're concerned about in Massachusetts. That you mentioned that perfectly, Kevin. In Massachusetts, you say, it's the city of Lowell and it's a 1 mile of water. well, the next city upriver and the next city upriver, and it keeps
Right.
on going to goes to New Hampshire or down to the ocean. And this is, look, banning something is an easy out for public officials.
Yep.
Working for all people concerned, including personal watercraft owners, is hard. Now, which way do you think one of these public officials, these town councilmen, are going to pick? They're always going to
Absolutely.
pick the easiest way.
Well, we're going to be there arm to arm with you and moving forward, mobilizing the masses to put these politicians back to work and make them do it the hard way.
That's what it all comes down to, I promise you.
Well, again, thanks for joining us. We'll look forward to the quarterly discussions with you, and thanks again for everything you do, Chris.
I appreciate it, Kevin. I do, and thanks for you guys for starting this network. This is really cool.
Oh, hey, thanks for being our first guest.